Hello and welcome to Tower. In this episode I'm going to show you my 288 GTO on a Tamiya M08 chassis and show you how I managed to get the wheelbase down to something where it would actually fit. So here is my Tamiya Ferrari 288 GTO. The body is absolutely beautiful. It's made by Tamiya and it's designed for a Tamtec gear, which is a 1/12 body. The wheelbase on this is 204.5 millimeters, and you might be thinking, well, there is no other chassis that run to that wheelbase, and you're quite right, there isn't. But if anyone who knows anything about the Tamtec gears knows you shouldn't have body pins sticking out the top. They're supposed to be undermounted. So there's some clues that this is not a Tamtec gear, other than the exquisitely beautiful body shell. So let's take a little look underneath, find out what it is, and see how it's made. So there we have it, a Tamiya M08 Concept, mid-motor, rear-wheel drive chassis that is customizable to different wheelbases per the Tamiya instructions. And the available choices are 210, 225 and 238 millimeters. Now I said earlier that this body requires a 204.5 millimeter chassis, and so there's some fairly minor modifications to this to be able to make that work. If I turn it onto the underside, we'll see quite where that comes about from. So this looks fairly normal. The middle looks like a short wheelbase M08 chassis. Like I say, there's fairly minor changes to it thereafter. I'll put up on screen as we go. You might see there's some changes here in terms of the overall spacers, and that's correct. The M08 fortunately starts with spacers in front of the rear wishbone. We've moved those spacers to the rear, and we've filed away some of the wishbone itself to be able to force the wishbone further forward on its mount, a couple of extra millimeters. The same is done in terms of the hubs. There would be no spacer on the hubs, and in this case we've added spacers behind the hubs to force the wheels further forward that way. And similar is done on the front end of the chassis as well, in terms of grinding and moving where wheels sit. The only other change to the chassis is in terms of the overall width. The M chassis width, whilst narrow, is not quite narrow enough to be able to fit the body as is. So we take a wheel off the front. I can show you the difference between a stock and what we have here. And it only saves us 1 mil either side, but 1 mil when we're running this car is actually a significant amount in terms of achieving clearances. So if we take a look at the front hub, you can see the bearing here is sitting completely flush. On a standard M08, that actually sits 1 mil proud. So to achieve this, we go with 3 mil wide bearings instead of the standard 4, and that allows us to save a little bit of width. That gives us a little bit of spacing to allow us to fit the wheels inside the rather narrow body.